The infant narcissist and the annihilatory stress response. Grief at the catastrophic detachment engulfment threshold. The infant's first crisis. The infant is born into a world where survival depends on the parent's gaze. The annihilatory stress response is the organizing gate of this world. It decides whether the infant experiences the parent as safe, good, and sustaining, or as abandoning, devouring, and annihilating. When the parent is attuned, the ASR mediates reality as bearable. When the parent is absent, engulfing, or inconsistent, the annihilatory stress response ignites in its annihilatory form. This is not simply distress, it is psychic death rehearsed. Catastrophic detachment and enmeshment. The narcissistic infant is caught in a paradox. Detachment, when the parent withdraws, the annihilatory stress response floods with annihilation anxiety. The infant feels erased. Enmeshment and engulfment. When the parent intrudes, the annihilatory stress response floods again, this time with the terror of being consumed, dissolved into the parent's needs. The infant cannot rest in the depressive position, integration of good and bad object, because the ASR does not allow the object to remain whole. The infant learns love equals death, whether by absence or by engulfment. The grief of the narcissistic core. This unbearable paradox crystallizes into frozen grief. The grief of never having had a good enough object who could survive the annihilatory stress response, annihilatory storm. The grief of having to erect a false self to stand guard at the gate, protecting the fragile true self from exposure. The annihilatory stress response becomes both the child's guardian and jailer. It protects against death by shutting reality down. It also prevents the child from ever entering the fluid, reciprocal, reality shared world of secure attachment. Consequences across life. Self-concept. The narcissistic self is built not on continuity, but on anticipatory adaptation to the other's gaze. The false self is a mask to stabilize the ASR storm. Attachment. Intimacy reactivates the early paradox. Closeness feels like engulfment. Distance feels like annihilation. Emotions. The narcissist's emotions are anticipatory signals of the ASR, not authentic reflections of reality. Rage, envy, and shame are the language of the gate itself. Empathy. Empathy collapses because the ASR never learned to mediate two worlds. Only survival through substitutional gaze remains. The tragedy revealed. The narcissist is not simply grandiose or exploitative. They are a child whose ASR never resolved grief, whose psychic gate is frozen in anticipation of annihilation. Their adult pathology is the echo of infant grief, endlessly circling. If I am seen, I am devoured. If I am unseen, I am destroyed. This positions narcissism not just as a fixed character flaw, but as a developmental tragedy of the ASR. The narcissist is the child forever stranded at the gate, grieving a reality that could never safely open. Peace out.